One of the more common discussions that Ninjago fans have when it comes to the suits is whether you like to see the ninja more uniform or more unique. If you ask me, I personally believe that both need to exist so the better suits of both options can stand out more. But one line of the more uniform looking ninja has certainly carved out its place in the show's history, and it's definitely become very popular over time. The Stone Armour Ninja are upgraded versions of the rebooted suits, but have the Stone Warrior's armor adds on top of them to counteract the powers of creation. Now these took a long time to fully come out in minifigure form, but luckily we did get the full collection from LEGO as time went on. And you can very clearly see which of these ninja came out first, as the lack of leg printing was exclusive to when the set initially released. Lloyd and Zane never received any form of leg printing to go with their designs, which is actually more accurate to the show, but I guess LEGO didn't want to follow that design for the rest. Over time, some people have actually retrofitted other leg designs to match the rest of the cast, but personally I don't like it. But here's a couple of examples of what people do. And I will say, I also don't remove the leg printing from Kai, Cole and Jay, as while they aren't anywhere near canon, they are nice additions to have. Jay, Cole and Kai actually came out in separate ways to complete this set. Jay came out in a book, Cole came out in this little small set that was just him, and Kai was in a Target exclusive 4-pack. And it's nice that LEGO actually went and did this, as some expected them not to. But to actually get into the minifigures today, we are going to go in release order. So we're actually going to start with Nia for once. And she finally got herself a new minifigure this time round, and this design is actually great. It actually comes across as a Stone Armour version of the Samurai X suit, but it just doesn't have the abilities that the ninja had when they got it. But it's a nice look and she fits in with the rest. The design itself is actually fantastic. It is packed with great details and lovely colours. But unfortunately, this was the first instance of LEGO giving Nia a city head, and this one is strangely unique to this minifigure. The thing is that it looks nothing like Nia at all, and I question why they chose this head fur of all things. But outside of that blunder, this is still an amazing minifigure, and it's definitely one I'm glad to own. Next up though is Lloyd, and I will say this is a great minifigure. While he is the most basic of the bunch, he still has a lot of nice details and colour. He actually had this design before the rest of the ninja in the actual show, because when he lost the golden power, for some reason they just gave him the stone armor design, which some people think is actually an error, but who knows. But it only had the effect of the stone armor when the ninja got theirs as well towards the end of the season. He comes with his standardized head and hair print that was established in the last suits, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with these variants, and it is a great look, but it's nothing overly new. So unfortunately there's not much to see. But this definitely doesn't take away from how good he looks when he's in a pose, and he definitely does stand out amongst the rest of the ninja. But overall, this is a fantastic minifigure, don't get me wrong, but it's just got the least I want to say about it because it is the most basic of the bunch. But don't mistake that for the minifigure being bad. Next up is Zane, and he actually came in with a unique design this time around, and it is honestly great. He is the only one of the ninja that had this X pattern for his stone armor design, and it does look fantastic. I absolutely love it. He feels very separate from the rest of the ninja, which is good because this is when he was dying. But like I said, this design really does make him stand out, and it's possibly one of his best looks, but it's definitely the most iconic. The thing is as well, is that this is the last time he actually looked human. So this is the last time we will see this head and hair print, and they will sorely be missed. If you do want a bit of variety, you can add the damaged head from his Tournament of Elements suit or the regular rebooted suit, and it really does complete the look, but it looks good regardless even with the standard head. Overall though, this is definitely a great version of Zane, and always is one that I will come back to, and it's definitely one that everyone should own. Next up is going to be Jay, and he was the start of the post-rebooted releases, and it was definitely a good start for it. Like the rest of the ninja from here onwards, the torso print does remain the same, but he also got these armor padded legs to accompany it, which does look fantastic. Because this was 2016 though, he does have the alternative J head print, showing one happy face and one sad face, which is definitely a great head print to have. This was definitely the start of LEGO giving us the rest of the Stone Armor Ninja to a higher standard than what we've already had, which was high enough, even though the adjustments are obviously not canon. But it just doesn't take away from how good that they look, and Jay in particular does look great, and it's definitely a version of Jay to have. Next up is going to be Kai, and like the rest, and to sound like a broken record, he is amazing. Like I said, he is coming in with the same amazing torso print, but the legs opted for a more standard ninja look over the more armored one, which I'm not mad at. But it is just a great leg print to have, and it's very standard for a ninja print, and it could apply to most of the suits, but it does look fantastic on the stone armor. This minifigure does also have an exclusive head print, which is completely accurate to the show and doesn't have the scar. It's a shame, because this head wasn't used again, and it's the perfect representation of Kai from the earlier seasons. This version of him also does initially have the gunmetal grey shoulder armor, which does look good, but it's not accurate to the show, so I did replace it with the silver, but both are fine options. But Kai is definitely just a beautiful minifigure overall, and one simply I just love owning. The last ninja for today is Cole, and this might be my favourite version of the character. The design I consider perfect. The fully armoured leg printing is gorgeous, and I wish the rest of the cast had it. From head to toe, he's armoured enough to take on a whole army, and he truly looks like a force to be reckoned with like this. Again, like Kai, he is coming in with a unique head print, being the human version of the smiling face from his ghost variant. And again, this is the byproduct of releasing in 2016. But don't think this a bad thing, because it adds to a great design and makes this minifigure more unique and more desirable. But on an overall, I genuinely cannot get over how good this minifigure is, and I can't sing his praises any more than I have. I really do think this is one of the best versions of Cole you could own. But the last minifigure for today though is Garmadon, and I love this design. This is his first official outing as being a good guy, and this design more than adds to it. The head print is a great design, making him look very unique, aka they didn't reuse Wu's head like they did at the end of season 2. His robes are definitely a great look though, and it really shows a great contrast to how he looks compared to Wu. But unfortunately, this is one of only 2 minifigures that Garmadon gets while he is good, and I really do wish we got to see more of these good guy looks from him, because the designs constantly surprised us with how good they were. I really do like how good he looks with Lloyd and Masako as well. The family is finally complete again, for now. But they're happy together at this point in the show, so let them have it while it lasts. But overall though, this version of Garmadon is a must own if you like the character, and he is really a great version of Garmadon to own. But that about does it for today. Those were the Stone Armor Ninja, and I hope you enjoyed the video. But when it comes down to the recommendation, do I recommend it if you're getting all the suits or if you're just getting one of the suits? Yeah, for both, 100%, these are fantastic minifigures to own, especially if you can find and afford Kai and Cole, because depending on the location, they can be a bit more expensive. But I have to say, don't pass up on these minifigures if you have the chance to own them, and let me know if you do already own them, because I truly do love these minifigures, and I'm glad that they're in my collection. But that about does it for today. Okay,